the Bristol Flyers podcast.
Hello, welcome to the Bristol Flyers podcast, the only podcast which talks all things Bristol Flyers and British basketball. I don't think there are any other podcasts out there that talk Bristol Flyers, are there?
Or British basketball. No, there are.
Well, there's a lot of British basketball ones, but yeah.
No, I mean, do you ever scroll through and have a little listen to see if anyone mentions the old Bristol Flyers, or you not really listen to other British basketball podcasts?
The other podcasts?
Yeah.
I listen to a lot. I'm a podcast person, which is why I started this podcast. Because
that makes sense, I suppose. Do the things you love.
Well, because I tell you what's good about it is that like the fans are consuming content. They could be in the supermarket. You could be listening to this right now in the supermarket. You could be at the gym. You could be on the treadmill.
Let's take a few guesses. Let's call some people out. They're sat in their car in traffic right now. Someone right now is sat in traffic.
Mike Edkins is sat in traffic right now listening to this podcast.
That's probably true.
Coach Kapoulas might be out walking the dog.
Yeah, that's probably happening. What else have we got? We've got someone somewhere is on a run.
I reckon so. I reckon someone's running while listening to this podcast.
And they've just tweaked their ankle a little bit and they're feeling a bit not themselves, but they've got Cam Christon in their ears having a great time.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's why I love podcasts. And also, someone's probably sat on their bed or their sofa watching this on YouTube.
Well, we know Tim and Rebecca will be watching on YouTube right now, I reckon.
Bottle of wine.
Bottle of wine, watching some Flyers podcast.
Love it.
How are you, Jolie? What's going on, my man?
All good, mate. All good. I actually go skiing on Saturday for a week.
Oh, where are you going?
Alpe d'Huez.
Alpe d'Huez. What does that translate as? Alp to...
Don't know.
Hours. That's not right, is it? Danny boy, how are you, sir?
Very well, thank you. Very well.
Are you off skiing on Saturday?
I'm not going skiing on Saturday because I'm moving house.
He's finally moving house.
Oh.
Yes!
I needed to find some sort of exciting, like... Oh, no, that was too late by that point.
It's been 84 years.
It literally has been.
Well, not literally. It's been 2 years, though.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
to
you.
my friend.
Are you excited? Are you nervous?
I'm very excited. The only thing I'm worried about is the cat.
Oh, the cat.
know?
Yeah, because with cats, you've got to be very sensitive when
Very
you move houses,
careful.
don't you?
Dogs, just pick him up, put him in the car.
My brother recently moved house and they had to move their cat over and their cat still hasn't left the under gap of the sofa.
Still?
Just been chilling in there.
How long has that been?
A couple of days.
Have you checked if
Okay.
they're alive still?
Yeah, Ernie. His name's Ernie. He's still alive.
Still alive. Good.
Good. I was really hoping you were going to say it's been about a month.
It's been about a month. It's starting to smell.
This is episode number 113 of the Bristol Flyers podcast.
Oosh.
And this week, we are very pleased to be joined by none other than Cam Christon.
What a guy.
Great chat, this. He talks a lot.
He's got a vibe. He is vibey. You made it sound bad.
No, I meant it in a good way. He talks a lot. He's a great guest to have on the podcast.
He talks a lot and he went on a bit. And to be honest with you, it is actually a long episode.
I think we're pushing 1 hour 30 here, folks, to this podcast, but we haven't done one in a while, so it's our treat.
But make sure you listen to the end because there's some nuggets at the end which may or may not you want to listen to. Is that right, Jolie?
Yes, you should.
Some golden caramelly nuggets.
Yes, you should listen to the end. I thought this was a really good chat. We talk about a whole bunch of different things. We learn Cam Christon's hidden talent, which is incredible. And we learn all about his backstory, including not being born in Allen, Texas, but growing up in Allen, Texas, as I soon found out.
I've done my research and I'm completely wrong.
And my research, it was incorrect. You'll find out later on in the show.
This is why I don't do research, Joe.
Exactly. Bit of housekeeping before we get underway. If you like us, please like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Give us a rating and a review on your usual podcast provider. It helps us move up those podcast charts, and we would love it if you would do so. Also, if you like our podcast, please just recommend it to a friend, because if your friend starts listening and they like Flyers basketball as well, our podcast community grows and our podcast gets bigger, and we can keep doing this for you completely free.
You don't get paid.
No.
Yeah, I'm getting £100,000 an episode.
The people can get their podcasts for completely
Dan, aren't you getting
free.
£100,000 episode as
Yeah.
well?
How do you think I afforded the house?
I meant the consumer gets to listen to our podcast for
sorry.
free.
Yeah, my bad, my bad.
But on that note, I think it's time we get to this week's interview. What do you reckon?
Let's get to the interview!
Here's our chat with none other than Cam Christon.
This is the Bristol Flyers podcast.
Right, welcome back to the Bristol Flyers podcast, where we are joined in studio by a very special guest. Our guest today had a standout college career at Grambling State University, where he was named the 2023 Southwestern Athletic Conference Player of the Year. He was part of the Cheshire Phoenix team that lifted the British Basketball League trophy in 2024, whilst also reaching the playoff final. Most recently played in Mexico, but now he's tearing it up for us here.
And his name means shrimp in Spanish.
It does mean shrimp in Spanish. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podcast, Cam Christon.
Glad to be here, man. The famous Bristol Flyers podcast. I'm glad to actually be a guest.
You know what's funny? When Cam Christon first signed for us, I sent the text message. Coach K sent me the phone number. I sent him the text message saying, "Hi Cam, I want to introduce myself," all that kind of stuff. Yeah. Responds first thing, goes, "The famous Joel Osborne, can't wait to meet you," or something like that.
Yes, 100%, man. I've had friends that played here, so I've seen you guys' podcast. I've seen a lot of the episodes, so I'm actually a big fan.
And now you're on it. Dreams come true.
Dreams do come true. Kids, look, dreams do come true. I'm telling you.
See, I heard it's the only reason you signed for Bristol, by the way, so you could come on the podcast, right?
Of course.
Good, nice.
Before we start this podcast, I've got to talk about the headgear, because for the podcast listener, Cam Christon is wearing a Bristol Flyers t-shirt, but he's wearing a Bristol Bears beanie. Talk to us.
Look, I took a liking to rugby, and I've been to a couple of rugby games, so I feel like it's only fitting, to support all the teams that are, kind of together in this whole Bristol city. So just showing some love.
Showing his love to the rest of the Bristol Sport Group. I love to see it.
We've actually got the Bristol Bears kit man coming down to watch you on Friday night. You should say hello to him. Big guy called JP, right?
Okay.
He's a legend. Now, this is something a lot of people don't know about JP. He used to play professional rugby here in the UK for Gloucester and whatever. But you might know who this is, but a lot of people at home will know this. I was playing golf with him once, and he said to me when he was back in New Zealand playing, he, for 4 years, played on the same club side as Jonah Lomu.
Really?
Which is, as a kid coming through, and he is the LeBron James of rugby.
Oh, wow.
Unbelievable. Like, he revolutionized. I'd actually say no. I'd say he's the Michael Jordan of rugby.
Oh, wow.
Like, revolutionized how it's played as a sport. Is that fair to say, Dan?
Absolutely. Like Michael Jordan he turned rugby in the 90s into more of a brand.
Yeah.
Like the Jonah Lomu became a brand.
Yeah, so this guy, I'll introduce you to him on Friday. He's a really good guy. His name's
do.
JP, and he'll be there at the game. So
That's awesome.
Love that. Well, I love how you're embracing everything Bristol, even with the headgear of Bristol Bears. We love to see it. Have you ever done anything like this before, like a podcast or anything like that throughout college or anything like that at all?
I actually have a teammate from college. His name's Terrion, and he has his own podcast. So he had me as a guest, like kind of just as he's starting his podcast journey and his social media journey. Shout out the Walk Down podcast. But he's had me on there a couple times, and it's just like in a setting like this is my first time. Yeah,
I love it. Well, you're very welcome here in the studio. I don't know if you would have listened to Cam Holden's episode. We had him doing karaoke on when he came on the show. So you got a lot to live up to.
I don't know about karaoke, but I'll try something else. I don't know about karaoke. Karaoke's never really been my thing, but
Love that. Have you got any hidden talents?
Oh, hidden talents. For some reason, I felt like y'all were going to ask me this question, but I really don't. Like, I feel like basketball, I kept it, I don't know. I could never do anything really crazy, I knew a lot of kids that could, like, flip their eyelids inside out and stuff, but, that was nothing that really, like, stood out to me. So, I don't think I really have many hidden talents.
Well, I think you do, because I was watching a video the other day it was like celebrations after a Flyers win, and you go up to the camera and you do a perfect British accent, and you go, "Get in!" like this, and you put your fist pump like this.
Get in!
Look, did I get it? This is Cam Christon's perfect British accent.
Get in! Big up the Flyers and the Bears.
That is literally like perfect.
Get it, yeah, because no one in the States would say it like that.
Nobody. You have to really, you have to hold in your inner British, person. Because I feel like at some point I was British at some point in this walk of life, as much as I've been here. So I feel like I'm just really good at embracing it and embracing the energy you got to put in behind it. Get in. Get in.
Wait, do you remember when you first heard that phrase?
I do remember. It was off of a TikTok. It was a British guy, right? And his wife is like cooking him some food, and the caption goes like, "When your wife puts like an extra little bit of food like in the oven while she's already," because he had a pizza already, like a full pizza, had it all lined out and everything. And then as soon as she brings the next like plate of food, he's like, "Oh, get in." So it's like that was the best example I could have ever gotten from just hearing that.
I can't get over how good that is because I was watching the video. I was watching the video after the game, and it must be like your second game or something, or your first game. You go straight to the carry, like get in, and I was like, oh my god, that's an amazing accent, incredible. Yeah, I absolutely love to see that. I love to see that. Right, should we dig into the podcast?
Yeah, let's go for it, mate.
Tell us about how you're getting on in Bristol so far. How are you enjoying your time with us and the Flyers?
I'm enjoying my time. Like everybody was very welcoming as far as the staff, as far as the fans, everybody, my teammates, everybody was very welcoming when it came to like bringing me in and showing me the ropes and just kind of showing me the city and just, letting me explore and stuff and just giving me pointers on like where to go, where to eat, good places for some good scenery. A lot of people out here that I learned are like, there's a lot of runners out here. Like a lot of people run and a lot of people work out like and exercise outside. So I'm like, okay, I know there's a lot of runners. There got to be some little pathways I can walk and be able to get a good scenery. So I've been up to the Bristol Bridge and seen that view. So it was pretty cool. I'm enjoying it.
I was going to ask you if you've been all some of the key spots in Bristol. It seems like you've been to the Clifton Suspension Bridge already.
Yeah, the Suspension Bridge. Yeah, I've been there already. But no, I mean, I could take some more. I'm always down to take some more offers on where I should go and, good places to go look. Because, the sun's out today. So on days like this, like, you got to get outside, get some vitamin D.
Have you tried local, delicacies, I'd say, like a Thatcher's cider?
Yes.
What's your thinking?
I
be honest.
I know.
Be honest.
Don't get me wrong. I am a fan of the ciders. Like, I'm a beer guy. So, like,
Fair.
So I feel like I'm on the right side of things. So like, yeah, I enjoy the Thatcher's Gold, the Thatcher's Haze. Like,
have you got a favorite Thatcher's?
I don't really have a favorite because honestly, I'm still trying to figure out like how they taste different.
Yeah,
because for the most part, like it all blends together with me when it comes to like the Thatcher's.
What about the beers? Have you found some that you like here that are different to back home or whatever?
No, not really. Like me, I'm really just like if I like my beer, I like my beer. I'll take like maybe one or two substitutions, but like if not, then it's all good.
Yeah, fair.
Love that. I find Thatcher's one of our sponsors for Flyers this season.
Shout out Thatcher's.
And they at the start of the season, I think it was last year, wasn't it? We did a cider tasting. I think it was the first day of last season.
Yeah.
We took the team for a cider tasting. It was
so rainy, wasn't it?
At the Thatcher's farm, and it was rainy.
Yeah.
It was literally like, welcome to the UK, day one for a lot of these like new rookies. They're coming in, and it's like, welcome to the UK, cider tasting, and like chucking it down with rain.
Oh man!
And we filmed some activations and stuff like that, and they did a cider tasting and a tour of the farm, and it was really good, wasn't it?
Yeah, I loved it. Oh, those guys are great. Yeah, they're good people. We like to have them as a sponsor. Just generally, they're cool brands. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So-
100%.
What were some of your first impressions, perhaps, of like of Bristol or the Flyers? Because you're like one of the rare cases of a player who's played against the Flyers before joining the Flyers. So what were some of your impressions of Flyers as an outsider playing against them? And have those impressions kind of changed now that you are in and amongst the group?
As an outsider, I wouldn't say my perception has changed. It's shifted a little bit, but like I just know playing against y'all and playing against some of y'all's previous players, like guys like Brad Green, Raph Thomas Edwards, Leslie Smith, like I played against a lot of the guys, so it's like I just know y'all are a really hard-nosed basketball team, like never shying away from being physical. So that was one thing that I took from playing against y'all, and playing with y'all, it really hasn't changed. Like we got Brody this year, so it's like he does not shy away from contact at all. So just with that being said, I feel like one thing that I've had to get used to is being able to hear coach on the fly because he has that heavy Greek accent. So sometimes it's hard, like on the fly, to, hear what he's saying. Sometimes I'm like, huh? Like, I don't understand what you're saying. But playing against him, I never had to worry about what he had to say. So
Did you ever think back then, though, when you were playing for Cheshire, that one day you would be playing for the Flyers on the other end of that game?
So funny story. Coach K was actually the first coach to reach out to me after college.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did. So we had a short conversation.
Screw you, man.
It wasn't even like that because it's so funny. It's so funny because this is just a testament to the type of guy Coach is. He ended up bringing in a guy that needed a job, was coming off of an injury, and Coach ended up, picking him and getting him a good season underneath his legs and being able to continue his career. So and he told me what it was. He told me how everything was going to be. And me coming in, I was just appreciative of him just even reaching out, like taking interest. So with that being said, like I ain't gonna lie, Flyers has always been like something in the back of my mind. Never knew it was gonna be this quick, but it was someplace that I figured out that I would want to be because of the relationship that me and Coach had before me even really signing to go play anywhere.
She's going to hate that I say this, but when you played for Cheshire before, my wife is the person that does all the sounds next to me.
Oh,
and does
okay.
all, when you're in the stadium or whatever, and she always chooses someone of that year who she thinks is the most attractive. And you, when you were at Cheshire, were that player.
Wow, thank you.
And then you obviously you left, but like she was, that's a shame. Like,
You
was
won
the one.
You won the Eric Lockett Award.
You won the Eric Lockett Award.
Look, I'll take it. Appreciate you so much. Appreciate you so much for the love.
You on Friday
Yeah, you
night.
can say hello come and say hello to her on Friday. She'll be like, I hate you so much. She'll hate this. So yeah, good.
Good times.
You talk about your relationship with Coach Kapoulas. What's he like now? Obviously, you said you built a relationship even before you joined the club. What's he like as a coach to play for?
He's a great coach. Like, he has a lot of international experience. Just seeing him coach with GB for as long as he did, and then also coaching the Flyers for as long as he did. He's big on loyalty, and that's what I've seen with his character as long as he's been here. So that's one thing that I appreciate, just him being as a loyal guy and just, going back to how he gave somebody a job that really needed it. So with that being said, I would just say Coach is just a really good guy. Like, playing for him, he's been helping me a lot. He's been giving me a lot of grace because, coming here late in the season, still trying to figure everything out, still trying to figure out where I fit in. He's giving me a lot of grace in that point, and I just really appreciate him for that.
Yeah, I was gonna talk about it because obviously you being a late joiner, it must be so hard as a player to learn the playbook, learn the system, meet your fellow teammates. Obviously, some guys already through past lives and stuff.
Most definitely.
But to make that transition, how important has he been for you in terms of helping you get settled in with the rest of the group?
He's been extremely important because he's somebody that was able to let the guys know, like, the type of basketball player I am. Because a lot of guys come in and say that they're one way or they play a certain way and this is how I do it. I'm like, yeah, everybody kind of has that, but sometimes it's a bit of a lie. It's a bit of some BS. So it was good that Coach was able to kind of let everybody know the type of player I was and the type of guy that was coming in and trying to fit into the system that they've already established.
Yeah, but also, and I know he reached out to you straight out of college and you can see tape and whatever, but then he did experience playing against you while you were at Cheshire. So that's really nice that he knows what you're like actually as a player and then brings you in that way as well.
Yeah, so that was one thing that, I don't know if he really knew this or not, but that was one thing I wanted to make sure I did playing against Bristol was put on a good show. Like, show him that I was somebody that that wasn't a bad idea. You know what I mean? Like, it wasn't a bad first thought that he reached out to me, So that was just one thing I kind of just held close and just wanted to, prove to him that, like, yeah, I am a good basketball player too, because it was never any hard feelings. It was always love between me and Coach just because of how he handled the entire situation. So it was never no bad blood. It was just, I just wanted to, show him that I can play at the professional level as well. So if he ever wanted or took interest down the line, he knew who I was as a basketball player.
I love that. And there's no one more passionate either about Flyers basketball than Coach Kapoulas. He literally eats, breathes, sleeps, Flyers, hoops.
He does.
And does that motivate you as a player? Because when you see a coach that passionate on the sidelines, that must make you feel like, yeah, I want to go run through a brick wall for this guy.
100%. And I would say he's a thermostat. He sets the temperature in all the rooms, and everybody has to raise themselves up to where he is sometimes. So I thank him for being somebody that's extremely vocal and has a lot of energy, and then you can see the energy and the passion behind how he coaches and how he coaches us and how he wants all of us to succeed along with the club. So I'm very appreciative of that and how the style of coaching that he brings.
Please don't go running through any brick walls there, bro. No injuries,
man. It's funny because some of the guys will know, but he was giving a real like a real high energy speech before the game, and I'm already on 10 before every game. Like I'm already buzzing. Like I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get going. So I yelled out like a loud little woo, and the guys were looking at me like, bro, are you okay? I'm like, bro, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to hoop. Like, let's do it. Like, I'm ready to go out and play.
I've noticed that even during like layup lines and stuff, you're one of the first ones making noise, like whooping, like ready to rumble. I think that's caught some of our fans by surprise, but they've really embraced that.
Look, 100%. That's one thing I like to do, and I know that's what I can offer to a team is to just bring energy. Be a spark plug. Like when Coach said, because my first year, I don't know if you guys want to speak about it, but I won 6th Man of the Year. So I just embraced being the first or second guy off the bench, bringing in energy, kind of shaking up the lineup a little bit, and then shaking up the other team a little bit. Because if I come in and, have a good showing coming off the bench, now it's like, okay, who is this coming off of the bench? And then, maybe some of the starters are getting pushed to the back of the defense's mind, and then now they're able to be freed up and able to, play their game.
I love that, like, you've been made to feel settled so well, first of all, and you settled in so quickly as well, especially coming in as a mid-season addition. I imagine one of the things that's also helped you settle in quite quickly is the fact that you've got your boy Cam Holden, who, of course, for the context for the listener, you guys spent your rookie season together in Cheshire where you won a championship. Just talk to us about what he's been like, how he's helped you sort of settle into your new role here in Bristol now.
Man, shout out Cam, man. He's been an extreme help when it comes to just figuring out how to navigate coach, how to navigate practice, how to navigate some of the guys on the team, because everybody has their own personality, And instead of me coming in blind to it, so he was able to help me decipher how is everybody like, and then he kind of just like let him know like, hey, everybody's cool. Like honestly, like you can have a conversation, and he kind of made an example. Like he was like, I could go sit down like one-on-one and like go eat with any of the guys on the team. And I was like, that's a big testimony to like the guys and the type of team that we have, because like everybody is genuinely cool with everyone.
That isn't actually normal, is it?
No, that's no. That is far from being normal. Like everybody like genuinely getting along. Yeah, because some guys will fake it till you make it, just for the sake of the team, for the sake of camaraderie. But when you can really feel that like everybody genuinely cares about each other and wants to see everyone succeed. So
I've noticed that about this group this year. And I'm not just saying that, like, the guys are hanging out with each other in their spare time. Every single guy we've got on to sit in the seat right there has said, like, look, we just get on like a house on fire. And that's hugely important in terms of translating it through into results. But I guess, like, with your relationship with Cam and just going back to that relationship, obviously, like, you spent was it his rookie season or your rookie season?
It was both of our rookie seasons,
So your rookie seasons together in Cheshire, you win the BBL trophy at the time, and you beat London Lions. And I think, like, from my recollection of that game, that was like the biggest upset I've ever seen in British basketball in terms of the resources available at both of these clubs.
Was that the Decker London as well?
It was.
Yeah, that was the Sam Decker, Nwaba, Matt Morgan, Gabe Olaseni.
Matt Morgan as well. That guy could, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That was a team, wasn't it?
That was a team.
Who had an absolute game? And who out of you lot, who played like unbelievable? I feel like LaQuincy played
Q. He had a really good game. Aaron Rye, who's now at London, and Maceo Jack, who's now at Newcastle.
Yeah.
Those were some of the.
That was a stacked team.
We had a roster of guys, and I want to say one thing that really propelled that team through was nobody had an ego. Like everybody knew what everybody could bring to the table. So we were playing like egoless basketball, like if somebody didn't get a touch here, nobody was crying about it. Like, everybody felt that everybody could bring something to the team, and when it was your time to step up, it was your time to step up.
What's your relationship like with those guys now? Obviously, Cam.
Cam, of course. I mean, it's no bad blood with me, Q, Skylar, any of the guys. It's never been bad blood with me. But I mean, if somebody feels some type of way about me, I feel like I've never given anybody a reason to feel some type of way about me. So, I mean, if that's how you feel, I feel like that's a you problem. That's a them problem. So, I mean, look, I'm just out here loving basketball and loving life, really.
Yeah, I've noticed it gets like chippy when you play like Cheshire, for example.
Yeah, of course.
As soon as the game's done, like that's it, and you guys are cool again.
That's
right?
it. Like me personally, I take what's serious in between the lines.
Yeah.
Like once we get outside the lines, I feel like we're going back into real life. It's kind of like it's over. Like, we had our little battle, we had our little feud. I mean, if you don't like me and if I don't like you, then I'm cool enough to shake your hand and be like, okay, cool, like no worries.
Did you have it in your notes to talk about that Cheshire game or not?
Which one?
The most recent one, because you hit the most
No, you talk
disgusting
about it. Go.
4-point play.
Oh,
and
yes.
I was so sad at the end. It was so sad that we lost. But like honestly, you came on and it was almost like, oh damn.
No,
man.
can we talk about the dunk that happened prior to that?
Yeah,
first?
we can.
100%. We can talk about it. Yeah, JB gave me a nice little dime on the break. I ain't gonna lie. When I was running, I was like, if I get the ball, I'm gonna dunk this. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts. Like, this is gonna get dunked. So he gave me the perfect bounce pass. I dunked it, and a lot of people because on the replay you can see that I kind of looked at the bench or towards the bench.
Yeah.
But I wasn't really looking at anybody on the bench specifically. Q happened to be on that side of the court, and he's always chatting, so it's always a good time playing against him. I'm looking at him like, you better get your team together because look, man, we trying to win.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's never nothing, no disrespect to their organization or anything, but it's like I'm always have playful banter with some of the guys that I play with and won with. So
Yeah, for sure. I can imagine.
Who fouled you on the 3-point as well? Was it Q?
nah, it was Michael Diggins, I think that's what's his name.
Yeah, Diggins.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He fouled me. He fouled me on the 3.
That was nice.
And then
Yeah,
you hit
appreciate
that.
that.
And then you hit
Appreciate
that
that.
4-point play. We did go on to lose that game though, but
man, look,
we don't
that
talk
hurt.
about
That
that
one
bit.
stung.
We don't talk about that bit. Speaking of players that you do know, you are very familiar with Will Yoakum because you guys both played together, against each other in Mexico.
Uh-huh.
Tell us more.
So Will played for Mexico City, and I played for the Rayos and Hermosillo. So we played each other 4 times, and they got the best of us. They got the best of us 3 of the 4 times. So I ain't gonna lie, Will was a madman in Mexico. Will was a madman.
Dunking on people.
Oh yes.
Mate, that'd be all that Mexican food he was telling us about on the podcast last week.
Man, Will was like Speedy Gonzalez running around there, dog. Running up and down the court, dunks, threes. But the way they played was like really free flowing. Like it was almost kind of like recreational basketball. Like, whoever's turn it was to score, that's whose turn it was. But we ended up seeing them in the playoffs. We took them it was a gentleman's sweep, so we took them to 5 games, ended up losing. But, it is what it is. I met him out there, and it was pretty cool because one of his high school teammates was on my basketball team.
Okay.
So I kind of knew of him a little bit and, just kind of knew about his game. But turns out that he's actually a really cool person. Like, outside of basketball, Will is a really cool guy.
Did you know him at that point before? You just knew him because of the scouting report and you were playing against him?
Yes, I knew of him at as the scouting report said,
Yeah.
just playing against him almost 6-7 times. Like, because sometimes, in a game, you chat back and forth with guys, when you're in a 7-game series with someone, like you kind of meet a little friend on the opposite team. It's like we have our little talks and stuff. We chill, have a couple laughs, and then it's back to trying to mess each other up. So
What did his scan report say? Good luck.
Look, it was a little bit of everything because his high school teammate would also kind of make little jabs in there. Like, look. If you turn your head, he's gonna cut.
Yeah.
Literally.
That's got to be
He's the
number
best.
one.
He's one of the best I've ever seen. Right?
He's one of the best offensive rebounding guards and cutting guards that I've seen in a long time because it's a certain type of feel you have to be able to cut like that on time, and then every time he's dunking it, it's like, yeah, you're not expecting this from a white guy, and that's what really
not
catches.
that big either, right?
And he's not that. I mean, he's tall for an average human, but as far as basketball wise, no, he is not one of the tallest guys. So when you see guys like him getting on the rim like that, it's kind of like, okay, look. And then on top of that, he can shoot. So it's like, it's like we're playing with fire now.
I tell you what, he did mention that you put up some good numbers in the games that you played.
Oh yeah,
against each other.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. One thing about me, I just wanted to make sure that every team that I play against was felt by me. I feel like I want to give everybody my best shot, no matter the day, no matter the time, whenever it is. It could be 8:00 at night on a playground. I'm still finna give you the best shot that you're gonna get from me. Trust me. So yeah, I ain't gonna lie, Will had a party in Mexico, man. The way he was playing, dog.
Yeah, I love that. But I guess because it's so hard to settle into a team mid-season, but because you know these guys already. Evan Walsh, for example, another guy that you probably would have played against.
I played against Evan at our rookie years. He was at Manchester for the Giants.
Yeah.
They were kind of having a down season, so he was kind of their he was kind of a guy that they really relied on to like for scoring, like coming towards the back end of the season and being a leader and stuff. So he was a big focal point on our scouting report when it came to Manchester. So playing against him, and then we're kind of like in size, so like we've guarded each other a couple times. So it was just cool because we both have a mutual friend, Greg Wild. He plays on the Cheshire Phoenix, so I kind of knew a little bit about him before just meeting him in person.
It's funny, like when you signed, I trolled through the photos.
Yeah, that was
I found a photo, I'll put it up on screen in the edit right now. I found a photo of Cam Christon essentially dunking on Evan Walsh.
Yeah.
And did you finish that dunk?
What's the sad part about it? Sad part on my end, I missed it. I back rimmed it bad, and it was from the fact that when I jumped, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna dunk this. But when I kind of made contact with him, I went up a little bit higher. So I tried to bring it all the way back and try to just throw it in as hard as I could, but it back rimmed out, and that was the biggest mishap dunk of my entire career. I was rewatching it on the bus back home, man, you really that in America that'd have been a Sports Center top 10.
Well, if
I dunked it, yeah. If I dunked it,
but it made for a great photo.
It made for a great photo.
Nobody knew.
My grandkids, yeah, they know I dunked that.
Anyway, great picture.
Great picture.
Let's shift gears a little bit. We want to learn more about you, the person behind the basketball player. Talk to us about your hobbies and interests. So, what kind of stuff are you getting up to in your free time?
So, my free time, if I just, have ample time on my hands, I like to fish. That's really my thing.
Really?
Back home, yeah, I like to go fishing. That's really my thing. That's one of my kind of little calming activities that I like to do on my own time.
Just the biggest one you've caught.
I caught a 10-pound bass before.
What's that in terms of?
In terms it was it was about this big,
They're
but
strong,
it
when
was a little heavier. So
I love that. That's so cool, man.
But I want to take it to an extreme level. I want to go when I find time, I want to try to go deep sea fishing. Have you seen the show Wicked Tuna and stuff? Where they catch these massive, and you put the fishing pole in the little harness, and you have to fight a tuna. Man,
that would be so good.
That would be insane. I would love to do that. So, but yeah, I love fishing. I love eating foods and stuff, trying different cuisines. That's really my thing.
What about when you sort of, let's say you get home from a game, and you've just eaten and you just got through the door. What are you doing to unwind after a game?
First, got to get me a good stretch in easily. I got to stretch first. Got to get the body, honestly, because I'm a real high adrenaline guy. So coming fresh out of a game, hot shower, stretching, kind of not really talking to anybody, just kind of calming my mind down to prepare to sleep. Because I found out that if I don't, and if I just stay on my phone or just immediately right after my shower and everything, get on the game, start playing video games and stuff, that adrenaline will drag over into the morning time. And I'm like, no, you didn't get an efficient amount enough of sleep after the game to where you can efficiently have a good off day. So as far as that goes, but I like to play video games a little bit, but not to a super extent.
What you playing?
Right now, the guys got me on Arc Raiders.
Oh, okay.
I've been playing a little bit of Arc Raiders. I like college football, NCAA. I beat all the Spider-Man games that they have on the Amazing Spider-Man and then the Miles Morales one.
Yeah.
I beat both of those. There's a game that I'm currently trying to beat. It's called Wukong Black Myth.
Okay.
It's just a super long story. So it's I think I'm maybe a third way through. So sometimes I have to give my brain a rest from that.
Yeah.
And trying to solve puzzles all day, and learn different things. So those are really the main games that I'm grinding right now. I like to play Skate 4 a little bit. It's a skateboarding game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love skate. I was obviously grew up on Tony Hawk's and then it moved in. So
yeah, 100%. The Tony Hawk skate was actually that was the one that bought me into the actual game type.
My favorite music basically comes from Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 1. So many
New metal.
good bands. New metal, ska, all sorts. Yeah, I love that.
Love that. I'll tell you what's making a comeback now. Pokemon.
Look.
It's the 30th anniversary this year, and they've just
Pokemon Go.
re-released on the Switch. They've just re-released the Fire Red and Leaf Green, which is like the remakes of the original Red and Blue on the
Yeah.
Game Boy back in like the 90s.
Uh-huh.
I literally grew up. That was my first like gaming experience. Was like playing Pokemon Red on the Game Boy. And they just re-released it now. And there's another game that's just come out as well, Pokopia or something like that. It's like their version of like Animal Crossing or something.
Oh, okay.
Which is like a chill out game where you just have to make a cool like, island or something with your Pokemon.
Such a nerd. Like, from wrestling to Pokemon, Dan, I bet you're into the Pokemon, you mate?
No, sorry guys, I had friends.
Oh, man.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, he's
you there,
absolutely
mate.
rinsed me there, mate. Cheers for that. Thanks, producer Dad.
And mute.
Yeah. And I'll mute you now for the rest of the show. Cheers, mate. Cam, let's run it back. We've got a section of the podcast called Run It Back, where we like to get when we got our new guests on the show. We want to learn more about their basketball backgrounds, where they grew up, how they first got into playing basketball. I was doing my research. You were born in Allen, Texas.
So I was born in Louisiana, but I moved around a lot. Look, Allen, Texas.
I've done my research.
No, you're good.
My research was wrong.
No,
but
you're
you
good.
grew up in Allen, Texas.
No, yes. So Allen is where I spent most of my like end of high school into where I'm at now, because like the house that I go home to every year is in Allen. So
Yeah.
With that being said, a lot of people do think I was born and raised in Allen, but nah, I'm a boot. We call ourselves boot babies, like kids that were born and raised in the South. Like in Louisiana, the state is literally shaped like a boot.
Oh, I
Like
see.
the
Yeah,
state
yeah,
of
yeah,
Louisiana is shaped like a boot. So yeah, I'm from the South. I moved around a lot. Like me and my parents and my sisters, we moved around a lot. So I've lived in Missouri for 4 years. Then I moved to Oklahoma for 4 years, and then I ended up moving to Dallas. So
They're not that close.
no, they're not close at all. They're not close at all. I mean, they're not close at all. I'm like, I try to, make the puzzles kind of go a little bit together, but they're not really close at all. And they're all very different types of like ways of life of people that you meet. So like Missouri, it was really cool. That was like kind of my younger, like getting into middle school. And then once I got out of middle school, and started early high school, I moved to Oklahoma. So like, I want to say like sixth, seventh to like ninth grade, 10th grade, I was in Oklahoma. And then from 10th grade all the way to graduating high school, I was in Allen.
So who's your NBA team then?
Oh, my NBA team? So y'all are going to hate me for this, but like
Lakers.
definitely, see, look, I'm not a Lakers fan. I like LeBron James. I do like LeBron James. I'm a fan of his game. I'm a fan of him. But I was a vintage big three guy at OKC. Harden, Russ, KD, Serge Ibaka, Nick Collison, like
What a team.
Reggie Jackson. Like those were the guys. Like in my opinion, those were those guys. And it was good to kind of see James Harden kind of come into himself from actually watching him and like studying him at a younger age when he was at the big three, when his role wasn't like when he wasn't asked of much as compared to what teams are asking from him now.
That was like before the beard, right?
This was maybe like
baby beard.
Baby beard.
Yeah,
it was nowhere what it is now, but it was tight though.
What were you studying? How to be sixth man of the year?
Look, trying to figure out like how is this man able to just kill off the bench? And it's like when you see how easy he made it, it was just kind of like like it kind of made, like, in all honesty, it really made me think that like coming off the bench isn't that bad. Like he made coming off the bench look sweet. Like shoot, I'll come off the bench. Yeah, give me the ball. Let's go hoop. Like,
I love that.
The reason I was asking, because obviously those years were when you were probably more into basketball, right, as an early age. So that's why you probably Oklahoma was your team, yeah?
Yeah, 100%.
fine.
100%.
Yeah,
I was real. Me and one of my really good friends that played at Cheshire with me. His name's Ethan Shagwa.
Okay.
Yeah, so we both went to high school together in Oklahoma.
Wow.
Yeah, so we grew up together in Oklahoma. When I first moved there, like his mom and my mom, they worked at the same company.
Oh, wow.
So,
I did not know that.
Yeah, so it's kind of crazy. I've had a lot of like really like close friends, Cam Holden now, like that I've played with. So I've enjoyed my time.
When I was looking online, and again, my research said you were born in Allen, Texas. So you have to forgive me here.
No, you're good.
But you were part of a big sporting family, weren't you?
Oh yeah,
And-
big sporting family.
And a lot of your family ended up going to Grambling State, but it was football that was your main sport before you got injured, right?
Yeah, so I was an American football player. So my dad, he played for the famous Coach Eddie Robinson, a historically black coach. He coached Doug Williams, one of the first players to ever win a Super Bowl, first black starting quarterback to win a Super Bowl.
Wow.
So, it's a lot of history at Grambling that my parents kind of took me around when I was a young kid. So, with that being said, like, Grambling has always been, like, kind of in my DNA as a kid. Like, it's always been something that I've held close. You know, Grambling's in Louisiana for the people that don't know. So I've always made my time down there. I have a lot of like cousins and family that have all attended. So it's kind of just like, to me, it's really like a big family. Like at Grambling, we call the students, like we call each other Gram fam, you know, because it's a big family.
Love that.
What position were you as is in American football?
In American football, I was a wide receiver. So yeah,
Because then you had the what turned you to basketball was that you got injured, right?
Yeah, so I broke my collarbone twice. So the first time it was like a fracture. My mom, she lost it, like completely lost it. Like she was like, "You're gonna," because I played a lot of different sports. Like I was a football player, like soccer, but I played that too, like in the off seasons, and I ran track and field as well. So my mom was like, "Look, like she's thinking grand scheme, like." She's like, we don't want you to get hurt, like potentially, and like hurt yourself for all these other sports that you love to do. And she was just like, you just need to put down football and just focus on something else. And my dad, being the peacemaker he is, he's kind of like, my name is Bennett and I ain't in it. But he was like, son, figure out a way to, convince your mom to let you keep playing. So I told her, like, after she calmed down and stuff, I told her, I was like, hey, look, if I get another broken bone, like, and fingers don't count, I was like, if it's like a broken ankle or like something like a major bone that's broken, like I told her, I shook her hand. I was like, I'll hang it up. Like that'll be it for me in football. The next season.
Oh no!
I was gonna say day then.
Literally.
The next day.
Bro, it's crazy how God works sometimes, because the next season, spring ball, I went up for a jump ball, came down. We're in pads. We're not in pads. Like we're doing kind of like shells. That's what they're called. Yeah. So it's just like jersey, helmet. That's about it.
With thin the foam in those ones.
We didn't have the foam. Like
fine.
we weren't that advanced yet. But it was just a regular jersey on top. Just split the teams up. And the corner kind of took my legs from underneath me, and I fell directly like on my shoulder and like on my head. It looked like a breakdance move. But I ended up, like snapping my collarbone in half, and I heard it. So like as soon as it happened, I was like, "Yep, basketball it is." I just
is that the same one? The same collarbone as
the exact same collarbone. I didn't thank God it was the same one. I don't have like two messed up collarbones, but it was just the reality of like, wow, like now we got to shift focus. Like we got to shift focus now.
And now you're pro though, so it's like it's a good decision.
And it's a blessing within a blessing. You know, at the time I couldn't see it, but now like coming into my profession now, it's kind of like, okay, good decision.
Do you think there are lots of guys who are naturally or have worked really hard to be really good at sport, and they've made that decision to go, the careers of football could be over very quickly if I get injured, so I'm going to go do my other one instead. And they could have made a really good career of football, do you think?
100%. I do think, because I do think a lot of people are naturally better at certain things, Don't get me wrong, like a lot of people can be really good or really because now you have a lot of kids that are like above average at all of these sports. But when I was coming up, I felt like I was like slightly above average at all these sports. I was actually really good to run the races that we needed to run in track and field, be a starter on the basketball team while also being a starter on my respective football team at my age. So I feel like it's a lot of people that they live in fear. It's the fear element that you kind of have to get over. And that was one thing that I kind of had to get over, because it was more like, oh, I'm telling myself this whole time, I can go pro playing American football. Then you have to shift your thinking to like, ooh, going pro in basketball? I don't know. This is a little rough. But it was just like one thing my parents like always told me is just like, believe in yourself, bet on yourself. Like you're not going to do it if you keep telling yourself you're not. Like, after a while, it's like I had to start feeding myself positive talk. So, I would say just to my parents, like I appreciate them for like giving me the dream to like, want to just be a professional in anything that I do. And, being a professional, in all walks of life as well. So I'm really appreciative of that. But yeah, it was tough going from like wanting to play like NFL, American football, and then just being like, okay, well, I don't know about the NBA, but we'll try. We're gonna give it our all.
Well, you literally went the perfect route almost. I mean, you went to college. You actually did a year at Boise State, right?
Yeah, so I came out of high school and went to Boise State for my first 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah, so two. I would say I transferred at the middle semester, at the mid semester. So after I transferred because I broke my nose, and then it was just a lot for me to try to get back into the rotation there, and I felt like if I would have tried, I would have ended up losing a lot of time that I couldn't get back as far as eligibility was.
But I guess when Grambling State was on the table, especially with your parents as well,
100%.
that was like a no-brainer for you, right?
It was also a no-brainer because at the time my cousin was our athletic director. He was the athletic director of the school, so like he kind of just ran everything by my coach Dante Jackson at the time. Ran it by him, and he was just like, "We're on board. Like we're happy to have him." So. Yeah, it was definitely a no-brainer to go to Grambling, though.
Yeah, I got here in your final year, Southwestern Athletic Conference Player of the Year. This must have been the point where you were a bit like, oh, actually, I could make it pro now.
Yeah, that's kind of where it was. So it was like, it all started like my red shirt sophomore year when I first got to Grambling, like when I first started playing. I played like half the season, and I think I was a second second team all conference pick.
Yeah.
And I was like, this wasn't even really like a full season. So it's like, and I didn't even feel like I was at my best. And then the same thing happened going into my junior year. And then because you know how COVID happened. So I had a senior year, then I had a COVID year.
Yeah, the extra year. Yeah.
So my senior year, I got first team, and I felt like I kind of got robbed a little bit. So I decided to stay at Grambling and run it back. And that year, we ended up winning the conference championship. Won it, and then that year I had won Player of the Year, and that was just like a big accomplishment for me because I just kind of wanted to show all the naysayers like wrong that like they got it wrong. So it was a blessing winning that year and also winning Player of the Year. So
how does it work then? Do you have the conference tournament after that? So you win
Yes.
the conference. How did you get on the conference tournament?
So we ended up losing in the finals conference tournament.
Okay,
Yeah, one of our key guys went down with a back injury, so. It was just it was a lot of turmoil too that was going on like within the team at that time. Really bad timing, honestly, if you ask me. But I feel like I was a part of a team that was able to get because I think I was one of 4 guys that was graduating that year and leaving. So it was a lot of guys that were behind us, younger guys that had never been to a conference finals like in the tournament like ever really. So it was just I felt like I was good being the stepping stone for the guys after because after they had their first tournament berth.
Really?
Yeah. So they won everything, won the conference tournament. They played Montana State for the play-in game, won the play-in game, and then Zach Edey, Purdue, stuff happens, but it was just a big thing, and I just kind of felt proud in that moment, like. I was somebody that gave everybody the experience. I know it wasn't the experience that we wanted, but everybody felt that same hurt to have enough drive to come back and not feel that same hurt again for the next year.
Yeah, for sure. I always think I don't know how I feel about there being you win your conference and then you have to go into the conference tournament to then be like, okay, you can get the playing spot if you win the tournament. Well, if you've had the best record all season, just put you straight in.
Put you straight in.
They just I guess they just do it just to add more intensity to the end of the season, right?
100%. And my conference isn't really respected in like the in the grand scheme of like the ACC, the SEC, some of these like blue blood conferences. So you really have to fight to get to that playing game. So it's like it's some teams that deserve those automatic bids because it's like everybody wants to watch good basketball. But a lot of people kind of throw a cold shoulder to the SWAC. Like we don't have good basketball players, and I feel like me being somebody that came out of the SWAC, making a pro career now, it's just something that I kind of hold with a badge of honor. It's kind of like don't shortchange us, don't shortcut us, because it's a lot of really good talent in the SWAC.
I love that. Then you go on to graduate after you have your graduate year. And you, as you said earlier, you had a conversation with Coach Kapoulas at that point. You ended up joining Cheshire.
Yeah.
Talk us through that whole process about, becoming a free agent, entering that world of free agency, finding somewhere to play. Was the UK on your radar all the time, or were there loads of other places where you were looking at as well?
It was some other places that were on my mind, but when my agent kind of brought up the UK, I was like, okay, like English, like, you know, no language barrier, like I'll be able to understand everything. It was like, I was like, okay, this would be a good like way to ease like right into my pro career.
So you chose Liverpool.
Look,
I'll understand everything. Yeah, right.
look, I mean, hey, it was the best option for me at the time. Yeah. So it was like with that, with all the stuff that happened that that took me during my free agency and stuff, like working out, you know, preparing myself, getting ready, and then just kind of like it was better options as far as money wise, but as far as like opportunity and, you know, comfortability, that was a big thing for me because I've met a lot of guys that go into a bad situation their first year and they're done. They're like, yeah, no, this. I realized,
really?
I realized this isn't for me. Like
we actually talk about this a lot on the podcast, and it's like you have on one hand an offer of few hundred more a month or whatever, which on the other hand you have a somewhere where basketball's not as big, but you have an opportunity to make a bigger impact. It's an English-speaking country. You get to embrace the community. You can talk to everyone,
and
that's a real thing, right?
That's a real thing. Like that's literally exactly what I was like juggling in like back and forth. Like do I want to go for the money grab or do I want to go for being comfortable and, you know, not having to worry about like, is somebody saying something about me like behind my back that I don't know, like, you know, or having to like worry about having to get like somebody that can
that can translate.
That can translate for me. So
don't worry, we say loads behind your back, bro. So much behind your back.
I mean, look, I know it's all good things, but
Always.
you know, I know it's all love with y'all. So
actually, but you make a great point there because everyone always talks about this, and I'd be thinking, yeah, like, but obviously you'll have other Americans playing on the team, so it's fine. But actually, all the fans and all the rest of it makes a huge
even
difference
like
as well.
going to the supermarket and like trying to buy something and not reading the packaging properly, or not, you know what I mean?
and
Like
100%,
like,
like you kind of have to look. Like you have to look at the picture or like try to figure out like what it is because you can't understand it. And I'm not the person that wants to just like have my phone with me everywhere and just be like, okay, let me take a picture, let me translate it. Okay, oh, these are pairs. All right, cool. Like I want to be able to just like, you know, read and, you know, and be able to. I just felt like that would have been just a lot more added stress on top of basketball because I take basketball serious and I really am a big stickler on myself. I'm my own biggest critique. So it's just kind of like, as far as that, I don't want to have a bad game. Now I'm upset, and then now I'm frustrated, and then now I can't tell what's regular spaghetti or what's linguine. Like,
but especially also now, like a lot of the drawing points for what would have been why Americans start their careers in the UK and then go elsewhere was the opportunity to play in Europe. Now you look at multiple teams in our league are playing in Europe. Flyers, the EM. I know you had one EMBL game this year because you arrived late to the squad, but like having that ability to play European basketball in the UK is huge, isn't it?
It's huge. It's a great exposure. It's a great type of exposure for a lot of guys that like are able to see something outside of the UK, you know, because I feel like Americans, we do this to travel. Like this is like, you know how everybody has that dream, oh, I want to travel, I want to move around and stuff. Like when you're coming from America, it's really expensive, you know, because when you're out here, you're like, okay, what do you mean I can just, you know, get a quick flight to Paris? Like, what do you mean I can get a quick flight, you know, to Germany? Like, it's insane, and it's very affordable.
Yeah.
So just with that being said, a lot of guys that hoop coming from America, we're like, yo, we want to travel the world. We want to see a lot. So having the joint competition is always great because some of the guys telling me, like, when they went to Romania, the crowd and stuff there was, like, on a whole different level. They're like, yeah, it's like nothing we've ever seen.
Well, or maybe that's Croatia.
Croatia,
where
Croatia?
the fans were like wild.
It's like a football crowd.
Yeah. And I was like, that's the type of like environment I want to be able to like experience, you know, because I feel like this is all stuff that like I can tell my kids, my grandkids, you know, my nieces and nephews.
But that's what's good about like, I guess what the opportunity to play pro gives players, because we find that a lot of players will, and again, it's complete preference to what players want to do. Some players will play for a team for multiple years. They'll join Flyers and play for 4, 5, 6 years. Your Leslie Smiths, for example. And then we have some players that use the club as a stepping stone, which we love to be a stepping stone because for us, it builds us as a reputation as helping players move on to better opportunities. And also, some guys just like to travel. So you spend one season in the UK, you spend one season in France, you spend one season in Spain. You know, the perks of being a player is that you get your accommodation covered. So, you know, you're talking about players wanting to do that. What we can offer as a basketball club with Flyers is you still get the opportunity to travel with the EMBL games, but you also get the comfortability of being in the UK and English speaking. So it's preferences for a bunch of different players, but everyone's got their own motives.
I'd hate to be arrogant enough to say that the SLB is, you know, where it could be in Europe. But I'd say going back 10 years, this league, though, is now somewhere where people go, actually, I'm going to come and compete in this league as well, right? It's not 100%. Just a stepping stone always, yeah?
Yeah, 100%. It's a lot of good talent that's just my time playing here. Played against a lot of, like, ex-NBA guys, a lot of guys that did a lot of summer league stuff. So it's like, it's a pretty talent-saturated league. So
I love that. Do you reckon you could see yourself playing for multiple years in the UK? Now you've had a couple of years under your belt playing in the UK, or are you kind of wanting to go and explore more?
Don't get me wrong. I would love to go and explore more, but you know, me and kind of how I'm set up, like I always want to make sure I'm leaving somewhere like better than, you know, I arrived. You know, so like if that's you know, staying here a couple years and, you know, kind of building myself up and, you know, also being able to help the club, you know, get some notable wins, win some hardware and stuff. I'm always cool with that. But it's just like I said earlier, like it's a big thing, like the coaching and stuff like that's really a big thing to me. So it's like with Coach being such a sound guy and, you know, we do play in 2 different leagues, so I'm able to get like kind of like the best of both worlds. It's nice. Like I wouldn't mind staying here for a couple years, but like, you know, later down into the career, like, yeah, I'd want to span out a little bit, you know, see some new things.
Cam, that was a great segment. But it's time for us to get to our quickfire questions segment.
Awesome.
Have you've seen the podcast before, so you know how this works, right? So we've put 30 seconds on the clock. You have 30 seconds to answer as many of our quickfire questions as you possibly can. Sam, are you ready to go? Okay, Cam, you've got 30 seconds on the clock. You've got to answer as many of our questions as possible. Your time starts now. What's your favourite basketball movie?
Love and Basketball.
Who is the toughest player you've ever had to guard?
Marcus Howard.
Give us one word to describe the Bristol Flyers locker room.
Funny.
Name one artist on your pre-game playlist.
Moneybag Yo.
What's your hidden talent?
Oh, get in.
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Somebody that talks too much.
If you weren't a basketball player, what would you be doing?
I'd probably be a football player.
Window seat or aisle seat?
Window.
Oh, I tell you what, we managed to get that last one in at the end as well. Producer Dan, have you got a total, please?
I do indeed. It's an 8.
8. Very good. Eight's a very reputable score. I think the score to beat was 10 originally, wasn't it?
Who was the toughest player?
Marcus Howard. He played. It was actually my first like semester coming back to playing, and he played at the University of Marquette. So a lot of the people that are going to listen to this in America, or some of my teammates from America, they're probably going to be like, yeah, him or Darius McGee. He's playing right now. I think in Germany. But yeah, shoots the lights out.
Nice. Well, Cam, you got a score of 8. Get in. It's time for us to get to the news.
This is the Bristol Flyers podcast.
Right. Time for us to talk about the latest news that's been going on since our last podcast. And we got to talk about it, but we won't talk about it for too much.
No, we don't. Let's not.
Well,
Let's just move on.
I feel like we can take the positives from what was a poor performance against Newcastle into Friday's game. I kind of want to touch on it a little bit. Flyers going down at home, 96-78 against the Newcastle Eagles. Cam, just what happened out there? Talk to us.
I mean, I feel like it was just, you know, a little bit of rust from the international break.
Yeah.
You know, Newcastle, they were able to knock that rust off early, playing Cheshire on Friday, and then coming to see us and mind you, they had a big win at home versus Cheshire. So it was just, you know, kind of they had a day. They had a really good day, and you know, we just happened to have a bad day. You know, every dog has his day.
Yeah.
That's what I like to say.
Some of their threes were open. I get that. But there were a lot of really heavily contested threes that went into.
Trust me, some of them were on me. I'm like,
which one did you? Who did
yeah,
Cole Long. Oh, Taylor.
Yeah, he hit a step back. I was like, okay.
Yeah. The thing always, and it's always the same in basketball. Like when you get the good looks open early, it gives you the confidence to knock down the tough ones. Yeah. So late in the game, I mean, you couldn't have played much better defense. Hand in the face.
Hand in the face.
Like, I mean, just fair play. Do you know what I mean? In that situation, fair play.
That's one of the ones you kind of got to just shrug your shoulders, shake his hands, be like, hey, bro, you got it going. Like,
well, Long went 6 from 7 in the first half from behind the arc, and his sixth one was just a disgusting sort of like half turnaround jumper from the top of the key that he even hit and then kind of went.
Like, yo, and I'm just like, look, confidence is a crazy thing, man.
Yeah, but I think the thing that I think everyone should take away from it is that these games happen. You know, we have games where we blow out teams by like 30 points in the season. You'll lose by 30 points in the season. But the important thing is not to let yourself get too high or too low throughout the season, and to actually take something away from it. And obviously, we've got Manchester on Friday. Again, another important game in terms of the standings. Everyone's so packed together in that middle pack of the in the group right now. So literally, we're at the point of the season where every game matters in terms of climbing up the standings now, going into playoff time. What do you think some of the biggest takeaways from that Newcastle game that you're bringing into this game will be?
Me personally, and I feel like I can speak for everybody, we kind of got to get out of like the slow starts, you know? Like I feel like as a team, we all know what we need to do and we all know our jobs and what needs to be done and executed. But sometimes it's just kind of like the slow starts. You know, we may not get the looks that we want, or we may get pushed off the block, you know, because, you know, some teams will just come out and just be a little over aggressive, you know? So I would say it's just really kind of getting our feet found early, you know?
I think we've had a few games that we actually have had a really strong start. I think it was the Cheshire game at home. Really strong start. I know we lost that game, but that's the way we want to be starting games, right?
That's the way we have to start games. Like you hit the nail on the head. Like we have to start games that way to give ourselves the best chance, and especially with the type of crowd that we have and the environment that we bring at the SGS, it's just it's very infectious, you know.
Yeah, for sure. I think also for us the big thing is we need to sort our home record out, because that's a third straight defeat at home now. If you look back to the EMBL game now, so like for us, it's like we have such a good atmosphere, and the noise and the fans generate, we make a real cauldron of it, and we just need to really take advantage of that going into playoff time, I feel.
We really do.
I also think if you look at the fourth quarter especially, we were down by quite a lot. We ended by losing by 18, which isn't, you know, from where we were was not too bad.
Not too bad, yeah.
Brody was an animal, and we need that inner beast to come and unleash like 4 quarters as well, because he just went, he almost looked at me, just went, right, screw you, I'm just going to do this.
Well, I think this matchup favoured Brody quite a lot because they were short-handed, Newcastle. So there's no Darius. There's no... Cole Long was basically their 5-man. So
he could do
a matchup like that. Like
on.
you have to go into that game being like, I am going to dominate this game because there's no one that can guard me in the low post. So every time, let's go, let's get it. And actually, to be fair, we started off really well because we had that big dunk. Like I think that's a second possession.
Oh, yeah, nice.
It was like a Cam Holden pass for a 2-hander for Brody.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, this is the game. This is what we need to do. This is the tactic. And then we sort of dropped off from that, and then we got turnovers, and then it sort of fell apart a little bit. And then, but before you know it, we're down double digits, and then we never really. We did briefly come back, but apart from that, it was all one-way traffic, really. Yeah. I've run through top scorers. Darnell Brody, 18 points, 10 rebounds. Joe Anderson, 12 points, 8 assists. Owen with 11 and 9 off the bench. That result means Flyers dropped to 5th with a record of 12 and 11. But as you say, look at that league table. You know, we dropped down to 5th, but suddenly you can have a really good weekend, then suddenly you're right back up there competing for the top 2 again.
Indeed.
Next game is Manchester this Friday night. How have preparations been going for Manchester?
Preparations have been going good. Like, I feel like we had a great day of practice today. We had a great day on Tuesday, so I feel like the preparations are going great. Like, and it's kind of like the same situation like that Newcastle came into the Wise campus with, is the same way that Manchester's going to come with their big ENBL win, moving on to the quarterfinals, and then before that, the win versus London. So they're going to be coming in like, you know, firing on all cylinders, like, you know, ready to get to it, and I feel like we just got to answer that call.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because last night at the time of recording, did you watch this, Sam?
No, I didn't even know. I'm seeing it now.
The EMBL playoff quarterfinal. It
was a good game.
They won by 2. So they're in
2 legs.
It's a single game lockout, the last 16.
Yeah.
So they're in the quarterfinal now, and that is 2 legs aggregate score. They were playing against Dubrava in the playoffs, and literally by the barest of margins. And they had did you watch this game as well?
Yeah, I did. I watched the game.
They had a guy on their team who just went nuts in the first quarter. For
the other team?
Dubrava, yeah.
Yeah, I think he had like 16 in the first quarter. He didn't miss a shot. Like,
End of the first quarter, it was tied at 30. Half time, it was like tied at 50. It was a high scoring game.
What was the final score?
It was like 90. I can't got it here. It was like 2-point win, but it was in the 90s. And Manchester at home, they advanced to the next. So massive shout out to them, by the way. Congratulations, because we love to see British basketball thrive on the European stage. But we'll see you on Friday, and you can get your tickets for Friday night's game. A very, very few number are left.
Standing only.
Yeah, standing room only, I think we put out today. So get your tickets right now if you want to join us for that game. bristolflyers.co.uk. Head to the website right now. Be the last person to get your ticket because we're all set for a sellout.
Because otherwise...
We got nothing left otherwise. Yeah, absolutely. Ian Beale. Or you can watch us on DAZN if you haven't got a ticket. But there's nothing like being at the Wise campus in person. And that's it for this week's news.
This is the Bristol Flyers podcast.
Right, Cam, time for us to round out this week's episode of the podcast with our mailbag. We ask fans on socials to send in their questions to you. Had a few come through from Facebook, from Instagram as well. First one here, Mel Hall on Facebook. Sorry if I've mispronounced your name. Not specifically a question, but she says, "We love how much you hype the crowd up."
That's amazing. Look, I love to bring the energy. It's not going to stop. So it's just like, I just want to, I feel like a lot of people, get basketball players that don't really show the fans any mind, like when they're playing, because, they're a little, locked in. Everybody wants to see everybody locked in, but, it's a little interaction here and there. Let the crowd know that you're watching and you're appreciative.
I love that. Amazing. Lauren Wade on Facebook. What's been the highlight of your career so far?
Highlight of my career? Ooh. I would probably say, either the 6th Man of the Year, my rookie year, or winning Player of the Year in college. I would probably say Player of the Year in college because that was something that I was really kind of, I was kind of itching for that one.
MJ the Stylist on Instagram, but not a question, but just to tell Cam that Alan loves him and we're rooting for him like...
Man, my boy MJ, bro. Shout out to you, dog.
I won't
appreciate
finish that,
you, G.
but yeah, he's rooting for you like something, like a lot, okay?
He said he's rooting for you like a mofo.
Oh, my guy. Hey, that's my guy, man. Me and MJ go straight back from high school, so he's a really cool dude, man.
Estelle H200 on Instagram. Who's your favorite teammate and why?
Who's my favorite teammate and why? I mean, I love all the guys. I mean, saying I have a favorite is kind of like it's kind of like a mom saying, like, who's her favorite kid? Like, like she loves everybody equally. But if I were to, give somebody that title, I'd probably say it'd be Cam Holden. Like, just from I ain't gonna lie, we went through a lot, like in Cheshire, and stuff, both being rookies, both being guys that are really family oriented and, missing home. When you missing home isn't that bad when you're with someone that's also missing the crib too. So it's kind of like we were both there, like, hey, we missed the crib, but we can't do nothing about it. Might as well go hoop. Yeah. Take it out on someone.
I love that. Dan wanted to say something.
I did. I've got a question, actually.
What's up?
It's for the visual audience here, because I saw you do a big stretch there. You have an enormous tattoo on your arm. Can you talk us through the design?
I have a lot of stuff on my arm. So
wow.
The 99 here is for my birth year. I have a small dove.
And for Skylar White, yeah?
That was a good one. The small dove here is for my my little sister. I have another dove on my arm. Well, the smaller dove is for my smaller sister, my younger sister. And then I have another one on the back of my arm. It represents my mom. And then my dad, his nickname in college was Tiger, TC. So
that's what I saw, the eyes.
Yeah, so I got tiger eyes for him.
That's cool.
That's cool.
And then this means fear no man in Hebrew. And then I have my zodiac sign right here. I'm a Taurus. And then right here I have faith in red and black ink because I'm a man of God. And then I have sacrifice on my arm right here, and it's just a constant reminder that like anything that you want to like be successful in, you're gonna have to sacrifice. Anything that you're gonna be successful in, I have sacrifice on my arm right here, as y'all guys can see. I'm repeating myself, but anything that you want to do and be successful in life, like you're gonna have to sacrifice something, whether that's time with family, sleep. For me now, it's time with family. So I feel like that was a big piece in my life that really shaped me into the guy I am today.
I love that.
Oh, that's amazing.
Going back to the question, thanks, Dan. That was great. You mentioned Cam being one of your favorites. We've actually had a bunch of questions around your relationship with Cam.
Okay, yeah, that's cool. What's up?
So one person, Andy T88 on Instagram says, "My daughter asks if you're twins with Cam Holden."
Yeah, me and Cam are twins. We actually are twins. That's been verified. That's like same mom, same dad. Like,
why would you call them both Cam?
Just because she kind of got tired of wanting to say two different names, so she just named us both Cam, and then she would say one name and we'd both look.
Yeah,
and it solves a lot of problems.
Actually, Cam Holden put a question in. He said, "Which Cam is more athletic?"
He is. I'll give him that. Depends on what athleticism are we talking about? Because I mean, in my opinion, I feel like I could beat him on a soccer pitch. But like, as far as jumping and stuff, yeah, he got me on the 2 foot jumping.
But tell him to wait until we've got a video coming out very soon. The Cow and Sow dunk competition.
Oh yeah.
So
look, tune in. Wait, shout out Cow and Sow.
Wait for that comes out. And then,
that's gonna be that's a question that you can really kind of ask anybody. I'm not gonna say myself because I'm a humble guy, but just check out that Cow and Sow video. That'll sum it all up.
A couple more questions to get through.
No worries.
Official T Mikey on IG. Who's the best PG you've played with?
Best point guard I've played with? Ooh. I would say it would probably be my college point guard. His name's Tremichael Moten. He played for the Himmel Storm for 1 year.
Nice.
Yeah, so he played for Himmel for 1 year. But we won he was the year below me. I think he was a year below me. Yeah. And he was on that team that lost that first year, but he was also the starting point guard that took that entire team to the NCAA tournament.
Oh, I see.
So he was somebody that benefited from the year that I had in Grambling, losing in the final and stuff, and kind of seeing what that hurts like. But I would say Tremichael, because he had a great change of pace, but he was somebody that was able to get everybody involved while also being able to take his own shots within the flow of the system. So I'd probably say him.
Nice, man. We've got another one here from I want to say the other one because I like their name.
Yeah, go on.
But, well, I don't. Yeah, there's someone called Eat Yellow Snow on Instagram. Great name. What's the dribble move that you're worst at?
The dribble move that I'm worst at?
That's a weird. I mean, it's tough, isn't it?
It's tough. That's tough.
It's giving away scouting report information.
It's giving away scouting report information. But I mean, I ain't gonna lie, I don't really do it that much in a game. But I'd probably say just like maybe like a behind the back dribble, like in traffic, like going through traffic. I'd probably go I can dribble between my legs and go through traffic, but I wouldn't choose to go behind the back through traffic.
Not like a Joe Anderson.
Yeah, see, Joe got all of that. He can go behind the back through anything, crossover, between the legs, he kind of got it all. Yeah, Joe be dicing people up.
Yeah, he be.
He be dicing people up.
Final question here. Louise Salt on Instagram. Are you enjoying your time in Bristol?
I'm loving my time in Bristol. Look, I'm somebody that's big on just environment and, the people that are in your environment and everybody that's around the Flyers and around just, kind of the Bristol city and the Bears, everybody. Because yesterday I was in the supermarket with Evan Walsh and this lady walks by me and she's like, "You're going to be on the Bristol Flyers podcast." I'm like, wow, that's crazy.
Really?
You're right. Yes. I was like, send a question in, But it's just it's a lot of love here. Everybody shows you love, from the fans, signing autographs and stuff afterwards. It's more of a city feel too. So, like I said earlier, I love to eat different types of food. So there's loads of different cuisines out here to try. But I also like a place where it's it's not too big, but it's big enough. You don't feel trapped, but you also aren't in London somewhere, where it's just kind of a little overwhelming.
I hear that. Nice, man.
That's great. Well, we're so happy that you're enjoying your time in Bristol. And I think that's a good place for us to wrap up this week's episode of the Bristol Flyers podcast. Podcast complete. Get in!
Get in!
Get in!
Get in!
Shout out Joel and Sam, man, for having me on the pod.
Mate, no, thank you for coming in, man. We appreciate you spending time out your busy schedule to come here and
worries,
chop it
man.
up with
Look,
us.
It's an honor. It's an honor, really. It's an honor, truly. Like I like what you guys built here and stuff. As long as, like, as far as just like the social media and like just the aspect and giving the fans a different perspective of how to view some of the guys. So I'm very appreciative of that. Really.
Well, hopefully now the fans will know you a bit better and they'll come up to you and they'll go, "Get in,
get in." Look, that's all you can do, and all I'm gonna do is hit you with one of these.
Well, a final thing we do actually, we haven't done this for everyone, but if you've got a particular candy or whatever you like, if you say it here, people will bring it to you on the podcast. They will come and find you.
Particular candy,
or chocolate or anything.
But the thing is, normally we say this bit at the start of the podcast. So if they've got to this bit, they
we'll chuck it in. We'll chuck it in.
No, but they've made it all the way to the end of the podcast.
Yeah,
that is true.
Yeah. So
and that'll be an extra brownie points for me for sure if you made it all the way through the podcast. But I had some yesterday. I don't know the brand, but it's purple. It's a big bar with many squares on them.
Well, like Dairy Milk?
Yeah, Dairy Milk. I think that's what it's called.
Just straight up Dairy Milk chocolate?
No, but it's the ones with the caramel on the inside.
Dairy Milk caramel, like with the gold.
Yeah, the gold kind of writing on it.
Have you ever put that in the fridge?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Yes. Yes. I put it in the fridge every time. Let it get nice and cold, and let it get nice and tough. Gosh, man, that right there. Woo.
Dairy Milk caramel if you're American. Caramel. Get him some.
Yeah. Get
please. Thank you. It's very appreciated. You don't have to give me some, but it's all love if you do. I appreciate it.
Amazing. Cam, thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of the Flyers podcast.
Always.
Sam, great episode once again. Good one,
mate. Always is. Good
man,
one,
y'all like Shaq and Kobe on here, bro. Like,
well, this is episode 113, I think it is now.
Yeah.
So we're chopping through them. A bit of housekeeping before we wrap up this week's show. If you're enjoying the podcast, please give us a rating and a review via your usual podcast provider. If you're watching us on YouTube, like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps us move up those podcast charts. Sam, anything else you want to add before we wrap up this week's episode?
No, all good.
Cam, best of luck on Friday.
Yes,
we
sir.
play Manchester Basketball, and we hope to see as many of our Flyers fans there as possible. But until we see you at the game, from Joel, Sam, and producer Dan, we'll see you next time right here on the Bristol Flyers podcast.